Today I'm going to show you how to get from this to this. Using an ultrasonic cleaner, sort of. So for those of you who have never used an ultrasonic cleaner, I'll tell you right away, it's a great tool, very effective, but doesn't do miracles. In this case here, what we have is a condenser tuner from a 1937 RCA-Victor 87K AM radio. So that's 86 years of wear and tear. This unit was kept for decades in a barn, then a unheated garage storage space. It has seen some water damage. It's really, really dirty. And you have to do some scrubbing before you attempt to clean it in the ultrasonic cleaner. First of all, you're just gonna dirty up your machine real good, and you'll be disappointed with the results. Namely, for those who have worked on tuners before, the gear here, okay, it's in the front. The tuning dial is also in the front, but there's a belt. The mechanism works with a belt. At the time it was rubber, reinforced rubber, and they all dissolved with time. They all melted, and that's the goo you see here. The ultrasonic cleaner will never get rid of that. So you have to use, I like to use some WD-40 and very fine double O steel wool, and to get most of it off. And then you have to remember to remove anything that's rubber, plastic, mica. I have the mica films here. Those are supposed to be copper contacts. And I don't recommend you put them in the ultrasonic cleaner. Just give them a hand wash, just as the micas, and the rest will do in the cleaner. So let me get back to you. I'll just take apart everything that I don't want there. This contact strip, there's two. There's a resistor and a capacitor here, which I have to change. But anyways, I'll remove those, unsolder what I have to unsolder, and keep all the small parts handy. Don't lose anything. Those metal parts we'll be able to put in the cleaner. So let me get back to you. So while the tuner is soaking in W40, which I've put around the mechanism and at the base, I just want to show you how dirty it is and how important it is to have a clean tuner in any radios. There shouldn't be any continuity between the rotor and the stator, between what moves and what doesn't. Okay? So at any given position, there shouldn't be, there shouldn't be contact. And we don't have any fully open or fully closed. Confirm that, which means all the blades are correctly aligned, although dirty. So it's worth it to clean it. Okay, Thing is, some parts do need continuity. The tuner is connected to ground with those 4 copper strapping, and some parts have no continuity because they're just too dirty. Look at this shaft, which is the closest one to the belt, which gets dirty and dissolves over the years. On this side, we do, which is normal. So we're gonna do some scrubbing, just basic scrubbing using steel wool, some cotton swabs, get rid of most of the gunk. 1 swab, 86 years. So let's do that. Okay, at this point, after a good scrub with some W40 and steel wool, this is about where we get. Much better. We can't, of course, go inside all the blades, but we took pretty much most of the grime out. What's left to do, okay, first of all, toss the old steel wool, have a fresh one standing by, get a small screwdriver, flathead, is what we want to do. I'll try to zoom in here, is get rid of this part. All the black stuff here is rubber. Scrubs off pretty nicely. And we'll go again with the steel wool. What I like to do is also use a heat gun. I'll show you. I like to heat up that rubber, which is pretty soft by now because of the WD-40. Then when I go with the screwdriver, comes right off. So let me continue on this. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So this was what, second or third scrub. Started with a brand new steel wool. Look at it now. Toss it. And in some cases, like in this one, for this one, the rubber that was melted here was so hard and so deep. Let me show you closer. I had to use a brass brush. This is about the only thing that removes it with a bit of heat. And it's much better than it was, but I guarantee if I put a cotton swab to it, it'll still come out dark, really black. So I'm just going to give it a good blow with air, compressed air, and then we'll put it in the ultrasonic bath. See how it goes from there. Be right back. Okay, so we're back. So far, what we've done, we took the tuner apart, remove all the rubber, plastic parts, electronic parts on it, including the grommets. And then we did a first pass with steel wool and WD-40, also using some cotton swabs. Then we did some cleaning of the gears with a heat gun and a brass brush. Then we did another pass with a clean steel wool again. We used a screwdriver and some heat to get rid of the rubber inside of the pulley assembly, which is pretty good now. And now we're just about to put everything in the ultrasonic cleaner. What I want to show you is that we did a lot of work now, but it's far from clean. I'm sure if I put cotton swab now it should focus. So it's far from clean. So this is where the magic of the ultrasonic cleaner will happen. So some models come with this little part. It's like a tea leaf infuser. Try to close it with one hand. Make sure it's closed properly. No, need both hands. Snap it shut. There we go. We can put the tuner in the receptacle, all that, and we'll fill the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, I'll need both hands for this, so let me get back to you. Okay, so we're just about to put the parts in the bath. Make sure it's completely immersed in water. I need a little bit more. Now we're good. Okay, so we have to set the temperature on this model. All the way up is 175 Fahrenheit. We'll use the most time we have, 30 minutes, for the first bath. I'm pretty sure we're going to need a second one, either with some cleaner or just dishwasher soap to rinse it off. So I'm sure you're wondering what I'm using. This is what I'm using. It's a degreaser, really concentrated. It's 1:50 dilution. So I just put about a cap full in this 10-liter container. I wasn't about to buy a $65 a liter ultrasonic cleaning solution. From what I can tell, it works just as fine. So put the lid on. There you go. Turn it on at the back. And we start. So while this is running, we'll just go clean all the other parts we didn't want to do in the ultrasonic cleaner, like the grommets and all parts like that, especially the micas. They're really fragile, and they come clean with just dishwasher liquid and warm water. For the temperature, if you're wondering, I use hot water from directly from the tap, as hot as I can get it. It's certainly not 175 degrees, so the ultrasonic cleaner is going to do a good job to keep it to temperature. So we'll be right back once we're done. First wash, the first ultrasonic bath is done. Let's see what we've got. As you can see, the water is pretty dirty. I've seen worse, but it's pretty dirty. Let's pull it out and inspect it. We can see it's pretty good. Up close. Not bad. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's already a white residue forming on the surface. What I think this is the aluminum reacting to the minerals in the water. There's still some grease there. So we're going to do another wash. This time with just a little bit of soap, dishwasher soap. And I'll probably do some more rubbing. Yeah. So okay. An ultrasonic cleaner is good, but it is what it is. It's not perfect. So this is the residue of the first wash. If you can afford it, get the model with the draining valve. So you can do this. And rinse it off a couple of times. Okay, let's start the second bath with soap and water. After the second wash, just soap and water. See what we have now. As we can see, the water is not nearly as dirty. So we'll just drain this water. While this is draining, I'll get a pail of clear water handy so we can rinse it. Make sure there's no degreaser or soap residue at all. There we go. This time I did it upside down. Try to get every part cleaned. Have to get it dry as quickly as possible, then blow air again between the blades. I'll try to reposition. Okay, I'll move in closer to you. So between the two baths, I actually did some more scrubbing. You can see all the Q-tips here, just how dirty they were. So this is ready. Take most of the water away from it. I can see there's still some white residue forming. I'll show you how I get rid of that in a second. Oops, no parts. This is from the aluminum. There's always old black residue. We'll use some air. Fully open position. Wherever I couldn't get the inside walls, I wipe off. Just using a heat gun. Okay, that'll do for now. Then, simple trick. Good old W40 again, which should stop the white from forming. And remove maybe some of the grease left. Get a few swabs soaked with WD-40 on both ends. Then I wipe it all over. It's tedious work. I promised to get it clean, but that's all I did. I didn't say it would be quick or easy, which actually is still the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. And if you're wondering how much time it takes to do all that, it's hard to say with the video. I'd say clear your afternoon or your evening. It'll take the better part of a day or half a day to do it, especially at first. Sorry, the outside blades I can do without putting too much pressure. These things are really tightly built, up to thousandths of an inch. I was using WD-40. Just a smidge, but try to get everywhere. Then, look at this. This is aluminum. It's normal. Especially after the ultrasonic bath, it's just like pores on human skin. Sort of activated it and opened the pores. Just goes to show the amount of grease, melted rubber, and dirt that was caught inside everywhere. Once the radio is done, it's going to be beautiful. People say, well, you won't see it. Well, these old radios had open backs, and guys that restored them, we want to show what we did. Of course, I will. If I'm asked. They want to see the inside, want to see the electronic restoration part, I'll show them. I'm proud of it. I'm sure the belt will grab nicely. What I'm going to be using is a rubber electronically welded belt. I will eventually try some ultrasonic cleaner solution when they go on sale or something, because like I said, $65 for a liter of it, too expensive. Okay, so now one tip is wet from the WD-40, the other is not, because I use both tips to dry it. Okay, now we can re-lube the mechanism. It's actually just, there's one gear, and the only really moving parts are inside. There's the bearing inside, up there, and then the cogwheel turning over it. Not that much to lubricate. I use fine oil for, use it for my hair clipper actually. Put a dab on the gear. Doesn't need much. It's not a motor. Pretty smooth. So there you have it. Used to be a piece of junk. Now it's pretty clean. And let's just see if it works. If we have any continuity issues, which I doubt because we didn't bang them. We didn't bang it. But see if the vibration of the ultrasonic bat damaged it. So like we said, no continuity between rotor and stator. Ah, good. Nope. So it's all good. Ready to work. Let me get set up and I'll show you how to clean the brass parts, the copper parts. So for this last part, I'm going to show you what I do with the little parts, aluminum and copper. No matter how you try to clean them, they never, aluminum, you know, gets pitted pitted easily, and it never comes really good, not just from cleaning. So what I do, again, I use steel wool and I just rub it. So what I'm trying to say is I really trust steel wool with that kind of stuff, that kind of work. I'll never get perfect, but brings back some of the shine. Okay, now for the brass. I don't put them in the ultrasonic bath simply because I find it changes the color of copper. It becomes more pinkish after, and it's harder to get it back to the right color. So I start just like aluminum with steel wool. Get most of the crud out. It's tedious, it's hard. You can't put too much pressure because you don't want to bend them. So you compensate by going a zillion times over it. Just wipe it off. So we'll compare both, two of them. So this is what we started with. This is the other one. There you go. Better. And then we finish it off, you guessed it, with Mother's aluminum polish. And yes, it does work on copper. And the way to test this is just to start applying it on the part, then rub it. And if some black stuff gets out of it, it's because it's doing its work, it's polishing. So I'll show you how to do that. Just apply it everywhere. Really rub it in. You can see it's already getting black, so it's working. Might be putting too much here, but you get the idea. And then you polish. So this is a somewhat of a clean rag. Keep polishing until there's no more black on your rag. See? Moving out of frame. I usually finish it off with a cotton swab. All nice and shiny. So let me do the other one, and I'll put it in back in the on the tuner. You could also do, I don't recommend it, but you can also do parts of the tuner. You could do the shaft. This one's not so bad, but when it's really pitted, there's no point in doing it, because the pitted part will get darker. It'll be more obvious that it's pitted. Well, I might try this one. So okay, so now it's done. I spent about 45 minutes polishing the parts. So now you have it all done. Pretty nice, I think. It's all functional. Let me just zoom in. So like I said, I polished the shaft with some mother's aluminum polish. Also did the base here. And I suppose if you really wanted to, you could do the whole thing, but when there's mark and pitting on it, it just it shows really too much. All the pitting becomes even more black. Besides, in a radio, if the tuner stands out too much, it's going to clash. Such a thing as going too far. So what I hope you'll take of this is that a ultrasonic cleaner is very, very good. Depending on what you're working on and what you're starting with, you can have excellent results. In this case, it was so dirty, so much grease, oil, burnt rubber. The ultrasonic cleaner wasn't going to do it 100%. As I've shown you, I really had to put some elbow grease into it. But very nice machine. I'll put a description in the comments below, and hope to see you soon with some more videos about the actual radio I'm working on. You can see it here, the RCA-Victor. Still a lot of work to do, but it's getting there. Thank you for watching. See you soon.